Hi guys, welcome back to my complete DVD collection. I have got some Blu-rays as well. So if you want to see my Blu-ray collection, put this in the comments below. I got it's gonna be in parts. So this is part one of my complete DVD collection. So part one will be my 80s, part two will be my 15s, part three will be my 12s, part four and part five will be all my kids movies. And I've got some box sets out of TV shows and films. But I have got these films, so it's it's gonna be another. So I'm gonna get just something to eat, like some popcorn and something to cold drink, and let's talk about every single DVD that in my collection. So first up, it's the horror movie. I enjoyed the Halloween ones, like the Halloween films, the Chucky movies. Like I enjoyed the Chucky movies, Saw, Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th. But I've never seen the last horror movie. So the last horror movie, finally check that out. Next up, it's Scary Movie, which takes me out of Scream, which I enjoyed this. I See Dead People. It's a movie and it's scary. It's got Sarah Elizabeth Buttus, who's in American Pie, the TV, and then there's Carmen Editor, but a TV spy Baywatch. I enjoyed it, yeah. Next up, it's Scary Movie 2, which they're taking Mickey out of The Exorcist and What Lies Breathe. I love dead people. More laughs, more screams, less clothes. No, it doesn't say anything like big on the back like it says with the first one. But it does on the front like the first one though. Next up it's the Size of Life with Judy Foster, Anna Hopkins and Scott Glenn from the Hannibal Lecter collection. I enjoyed this. I've never seen any of them, but I had seen Manhunt, which I never picked up. Next up, it's Hannibal Rising, Uncut Edition, including 10 deleted scenes, not shown in cinemas. I picked it from Powerland for £1, and The Ultimate Bloody Revenge, Bloodthirsty, Full on Gore, and Virus. The best Hannibal film since The Silence of the Lambs. Entertaining, gory. You know, I've never seen the Hammer ones, but I do want to see them. But I do want to watch them though. The other I want to see is Manhunter. Now, it's Hannibal with Anna Hopkins and Jennifer Moore. Some of it I won't talk about because I haven't seen them. Some of it I'd like because I don't enjoy. I won't talk about because I don't want to. There is Hollow Man, Elizabeth Short and Kevin Bacon. It's the same as, it's a bit like The Invisible Man. The black and white one. And then they just remade another Invisible Man one, which they're making the Universal Monsters again, but in colour. Next up is Freddy Jason, which I do like the Friday the 13th franchise and like Alien Street franchise. This is part of a Nightmare Street franchise, and it's got Freddy. Like, it's just, have you ever seen the story of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? This is a story of Freddy, Jason, and I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the fight scene between Freddy and Jason in Jason's dream, and in Jason and outside of Jason's dream for his final fight. Next up is Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, which I don't know how to do this, so I watched it a bit on YouTube, like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the beginning of the movie of it on YouTube, and I haven't watched the DVD yet, including the original tactical trailer. It was one of my favourite movies of all time. And one of my favourite movies of all time is Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I enjoyed, I like New York, so... No, I've been to New York, but I've been to America, and... I like this movie. A lot of people don't like it, but a lot of people think this is the worst Friday the 13th movie ever made. And it's not. There are some stupid scenes in it, which I liked. I like scenes. I like some movies. I like films with stupid scenes in. For some odd reason. They do it Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, which this is in Camp Crystal Lake. Part 8 doesn't take place in Camp Crystal Lake. But the first seven does, and so does the remake, and so does Freddy Jason, and so does Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Jason X doesn't, probably does, but it's in space as well. Next is Friday the 13th, the final Tractor. It's the final Tractor because Part 5, a new Friday the 13th Part 5, a new beginning came out. But I did enjoy this movie. Next up is Friday the 13th Part 3, which is where he first fights his hockey mask. Next up is Friday the 13th Part 2, Special Edition, where he first starts killing for his mother. Next up is Friday the 13th. Where Jason's not the killer in this one. It's Jason. Jason's mother is the killer in this movie. Next up is Cult of Chucky. One of my favourite movies of all time is Cult of Chucky. He's either being in this film, I would have played this lady in a wheelchair. I would have been playing the woman character, like a woman in a wheelchair, but she's not in a wheelchair at the end. People think this is one of people's weakest movie in the franchise, and then 2 years ago they did a remake. This is too early for it, but they decided to carry on with Charles Play. Next up is Cult of Chucky, which I enjoyed this as well. Next up is Bride of Chucky with Jennifer Tilly, with Brad Dourif, Catherine Hazel, Nick Stabby and John Ritter. I enjoyed this movie. Next up is Child's Play 3, where the boy Andy is all grown up as a teenager, and he goes to soldier college, where he trains to be a soldier, and where he trains everything, and then he meets a girl who is being held captive by Chucky in the woods after they have a fight between the red team and the blue team. Next up is Scream 3, which I did enjoy. I enjoyed this movie. With David Kenneth Campbell, Courtney Hawks. I enjoyed this movie. It's the scariest Scream than the first two in the trilogy. But I enjoyed this movie. It isn't great, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the kills in the movie. There's two piles onto the big stack. Whoa, easy there. Easy there. Next up is Scream 2. Sarah Michelle Gellar is in this movie. All she does is Sarah Michelle Gellar's character. She speaks to the killer. She speaks to the killer on the phone. He threatens her to kill her. And then she goes and she comes, like, he phones on the pink phone. And then she comes and answers the pink phone. And then he comes storming out through the door in the basement. And then she goes and, with a knife, when he takes the knife out. Yeah, and then once they get into the bedroom, he grabs onto her, shoves her through the glass window of the door, glass door, and then she's on her knees. The killer goes through the door, through the glass of the door. She goes and she gets stabbed twice. She gets picked up, like she gets stabbed twice in the back. She gets picked up by the killer. She gets thrown off the balcony by the killer, and then reached to the ground with a big thump. I did enjoy this movie, better than the third movie. It's better than Scream 3. Next up is Saw the Final Chapter, which I've never seen. Like, I've seen some of the Saw films. I've seen the first 4, seen the 8th film, Jigsaw, and never seen the other 3. And there'll probably be a film by the Book of Saw, which is coming later on this year, which is coming soon. Next up is Saw 6. Next up is Saw 5 Extreme Edition. Saw 5 Extreme Edition, the vision you could not see in cinemas. Next up is Saw 4 Extreme Edition. Next up it's Saw Daisy Saw Uncut Vision. You enjoyed 7, this goes up to 8. Every piece has its puzzle. But I enjoyed this. One of my favourite movies of all time. Next up it's The Omen Pentology. It comes with all 4 films including the remake. Doesn't say nothing on the back, but it does say stuff in the front. I wonder if it says on the back on this case. Yeah, it does. It says stuff on the back of the cape, but not on the front. I'm going to see there's a booklet in here. No, there's not. No, I can't book it. But I bought for the CEX. Like I bought it from HMV for $19.99. I wanted it to go cheap, but it wasn't going cheaper. So, do you know what? I'm going to buy it. So they're not putting it down cheap enough. Down cheaper. So, I bought it for $19.99. The box is a bit ripped on the top corner. Because of it was stuck on the shelf and I couldn't get it out. So, it could come out easier. But I had like an extra one on. I had one on there. I need to stretch my leg, but the bed's in the way. Right. Right, next up is Hostel Part 3, which I enjoyed. A lot of people don't like this movie, but I enjoyed it. Next up is Hostel Part 2. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. It's even better than Part 3, but Part 2, still enjoy a movie. Unseen Edition. Next up it's The First Hostel, Unseen Edition. Not keen on Tarantino films or the Eli Roth films, but it's a horror movie. It has blood and gore. So do you know what? I watch these movies, even they're by Tarantino and by Eli Roth. I still watch them. Next up is The Hills of Ice 2, if I can get it from the top. So it's The Hills of Ice 2 with over an hour of extreme features. Now I've seen the second one. Next up it's The Hills of Ice extended cut. I've seen the first half of this movie and I can't get through it. But I will watch it at some point. I think I probably bought it from CX, but like from HMV, but I can't remember how much it was worth. Next up is Robbie's Baby. Can't find Robbie's Killer, but I do want, like, I might have to see it's online. It just, on the back it says, possibly the best horror film ever made. This brilliant adaptation of best-selling novel is the story of a loving young New York City couple who are expecting their first child, like most first-time mothers. Very pretty. Not going to read all of it, but otherwise it will take too long. So it's a classic chiller film, like horror film, but that's a classic movie. Next up is Sweeney Todd, 2D special edition with Johnny Depp, which I like Johnny Depp. There's nothing wrong with Johnny Depp, but some of these films are not as good than others. But this is based on the olden days. But like, I'll probably watch this on TV. By now I watched the DVD. Next up is Listen. What you hear can kill you. From the director of Sting, which I do not have, but I've been waiting to watch this movie. Need to watch this and never watched it, but I will watch it at some point. Next up is the Horror Pack, which I had for a couple of years. Horror one of it, and it comes with 4 horror movies: Skeleton in the Closet, The Grim Reaper, Beyond the Door 2, The House on Surrey Road. Cannot find the first one, Beyond the Door. Cannot find the first one, but it comes with the second one. I'll be watching all 4 of them. Next up is Dead Time, but it's halfway through. It's badly gory, probably based on the olden days, but I haven't saved that movie, so I haven't watched it for a long time, for a while, and so now I watched like the whole movie all the way through. Next up is Teeth. This movie's not scary, it's just weird. Like, it's about these teeth down these ladies' private private parts, and don't know why. If you put your hand down a lady's private parts, it's out. Goodbye hand. But I do enjoy the movie though. With their own movies, they probably made other after the first, more after the first 5, but they've often made more after the remake though. Next up is White Blood Thunder, which I did enjoy. This lady, from the producers of The Grudge, but this lady, she gets turned into a vampire, and then she tries to find all the other vampires to kill them, but she stays as a vampire. Next up, it's Alien Street, the remake. Welcome to your nightmare, new nightmare. But I enjoyed, never seen the remake, but I've seen the original. Next up is Final Scream, which I watched the first 5 or 10 minutes of this movie. And what can I say about this movie? I've never seen the movie before, apart from the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. Next up is one of my favourite movies of all time. And that is Mum and Dad, the best UK horror of the last decade. Parents commit bloody murder, trouble in and Saturday on Choir. I enjoyed this. But I do want to watch them again. I do want to watch it again. Next up is Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's one of my favourite horror movies ever since A Nightmare on Elm Street. One of my favourite horror movies one of my favourite slashers of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I enjoyed this movie. I liked it. The problem with the first disc is skipping parts, but I do enjoy the movie. Next up is Halloween 2, the follow-up to the first movie, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasant. From the people who brought you Halloween, more the night he come home. But the first one, it says the night he come home. Next up is Halloween, the Curse of Malcolm Myers. I enjoyed this movie. Laurie's niece Jamie gets killed, like at the first in the beginning of the first 5 or 10 minutes of the beginning of the movie, by Michael. Next up is Halloween. Like Halloween is Rob Zombie's Halloween, uncut director-cut edition. I enjoyed this movie. Like, never seen it. I seen the John Carpenter ones, never seen the Rob Zombie ones. Next up is Camp Blood 2, The Mirror of Terror, which I ain't seen the second one, never seen the first one, which I do want to watch. But it's awfully an 80s or a 90s film. Next up is as Ninja Assassin, which I like as ninja films, I like assassin films. They're not a lot of, like, I enjoyed it. Next up is The Tournament. And I liked it. Like, never seen this movie, but I will watch it eventually. Next up is Taken with Liam Neeson. Extended harder cut. They have taken his daughter. He will find them. He will hunt them. He will find them, and he will kill them. Everyone loves Liam Neeson. If you don't love Liam Neeson, there's something wrong with you, because his films are fantastic. Next up is Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith collected edition. What are you gonna do, bad boys, bad boys? What you gonna do when it comes for you? Yeah, well, they made a third one last January. Next up is Rambo with Sylvester Stallone. Never seen any films, but they just made a 5th one 2 years ago. Next up, I Spit on Your Grave, the remake. Never seen the original. Never seen 2, 3 or 4, but I have the remake. But I will watch off to see the original. Next up is 3 with Billy Stang, Kelly Close. I bought this movie to watch, like, naked women on it, but I bought it because of, don't know if it's a horror thriller, but it's obviously a thriller. But I will watch it at some point. Next up is May, Why I Scream. If you can't find a friend, make one, which all the titles of May's on the back as well, and it's on front and the front and on the disc. Right, next up is Wakewood. I found this in CX, just outside CX in Harlow. And I found this and I never watched it yet. It's about dead people coming out from beyond the grave. Next up is The Frank Connection. Like it's the double pack of The Frank Connection 1 and 2, which and I enjoyed this movie with Glenn Hankman. And the first one I enjoyed, the second one I'm halfway watching, so I'm going to finish the second one now or finish it tomorrow. Next up, it's The Revenge of the Pink Panther, which this one is actually a PG, like a kids movie, but it's been with my teens because I can't fit it with my kids movies on the shelf, so. But I will have it as, but it's The Revenge of the Pink Panther. But I do enjoy this movie. Don't know what order they go in. Next up, it's Lethal Weapon Collection. Goes up to 1 to 4. Like, one, it comes with, like, the Ultimate or Action Collection of Lethal Weapon. But these films, I bought it from CX for £2.50. I did see it down the car boot, but I just had to buy from CX. And next up, I've got 2 TV box sets here, and the first one is Lick Chunk, the complete first season. I went from CX for 50p, and no, I watched it. Please don't fall. Next up, it's Blade the Series, the complete series. This is better than the films. It's better than the first film, in my opinion. And I might make a second season to it, or reboot, a series, or reboot the films, like do we make the films? But I enjoyed this. He's never been in this series. I would have played Krista in it. Well, Krista gets turned into a vampire, but Blade sorts her out by turning her good. So she doesn't kill no more after her first kill. But I don't have the film to see. The third film, Blade Trinity, is on Netflix, so check it out and watch it. But I haven't seen it, so because a lot of people didn't like Blade Trinity. A lot of people hate Blade Trinity. So that's it. Anyway, guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.